me get my script back up, and then I'm gonna say my little intro thing that's a little embarrassing. But it's a start, man. Alright. So, are you ready?
I am ready.
For this shit show. Alright. That's probably shit.
It's not a shit show. You'll be fine.
Alright.
We'll do great.
We're gonna do amazing. We're gonna do this. Alright. Hello, I am your host, Messed Up Fan. If you're here from Tumblr, you might be familiar with my fics. If you're here from my Discord, thank you for supporting me on this crazy journey. We're finally here. And if you have absolutely no idea who I am, but love to read or write or even talk about fanfiction, welcome. I am so happy to have you here. My first amazing guest here is Kai, also known on the AO3 and Tumblrs as Deblu. Is that how you say it?
Deblu.
Deblu 008. And we are here to talk about fanfictions because that's what this is. Everything and anything is or can be a fanfiction. Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't have that great of a script. I don't know how to bridge things. All right. Let me go back to this. All right. Say hi.
I liked it.
Say hi to everybody.
Hello.
Welcome. One of these days. Oh, wait. We do have a clapping thing. Hold on.
Oh, I like it.
Where is it? Right there. Welcome.
Thank you.
I normally hate the soundboard, but that actually helped. Tell us a little bit about yourself. How many years into writing fan fiction have you been doing this for? Because, yeah, that's English.
That's English, yes. I am Kai, like Messed Up Fan said. I started writing fan fiction, I want to say 2012. I was writing just little rinky-dinky little one-shots for really embarrassing fandoms that we may or may not get into. We'll see. And then I took a break for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then the magical movie Ocean's 8 came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what it did, but it changed my entire life. And I just had so many ideas. And so that really pushed all of those creative envelopes open. And I just started writing.
Mm-hmm.
Did little one-shots here and there. And then I started my giant story, which is still a work in progress. R.I.P. me and all my readers.
That was was it 40-something chapters?
Yeah, 40-something chapters. I think I'm on 46 right now. Oops.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, continue.
I then dabbled in Criminal Minds a little bit because I also had some ideas. Mm-hmm. And then now I'm dabbling in Marvel. Very intimidating field to get into, I won't lie.
Oh, yeah.
But, you gotta try.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, 45, so you're working on 46. Yeah, Marvel is a tough one, definitely. Would I recommend it to others? No.
No.
But that's...
I mean, if you have the ideas, do it, but
yeah.
It's tough. It's a tough crowd.
It's a tough crowd. And I say that because in itself, Marvel is fan fiction. Like, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, even the comics, like, they started off as, like, all these characters started off one way. They have progressed and been rewritten by other people. So, I full on believe Marvel, DC, like, anything that's adapted, they They want to fool us into saying it's an adaptation of something else. No, it's fanfiction. Sorry, I mean, I didn't say that word. It's fanfiction, honey. My stomach. All right, that was a wonderful intro. You are a pro.
I appreciate that. I'm not a pro, but I tried.
I feel like this is not your first rodeo. But it definitely is
mine. It is my
mine.
first rodeo. What are you talking about?
I don't know your life. We're still getting to know each other. This is the first time we're hearing each other.
That's true.
Well, I mean, I sent a voice note one time, so you've heard my annoying voice at least once.
Not annoying. I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyways, but this has been interesting. Let's see. Let's go to. So, yeah, what was your first introduction to writing fan fiction? Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I'm like 2 years behind you. I think I started writing around 2013 or 2014.
Nice. It's good year. Good year.
I feel like that was a real height of, at least for me, because I'm not sure how old Wattpad is, but I remember it just being like this suddenly big thing around that time.
I got my start writing and reading on Tumblr. I didn't know what Wattpad or fanfiction.net or AO3 was until about 2018.
Oh, wow.
When my then ex, or then girlfriend, now ex, introduced me to all that. And I just started. I liked reading on AO3. I think that's like the easiest thing for me to read other than Tumblr. Wattpad is probably second. Fanfiction.net is definitely last. No hate, but it's not a very user-friendly platform for me. So I just choose to use AO3 the most. But I do directly write onto Wattpad, which is really weird. But fun fact.
I felt like fanfiction.net worked better as an app than as a website. Because I have tried to use that website and I was like, what is this? And they have an app. The app is a lot better. But it is tricky to find fanfictions. For sure. I haven't used it in years, but yeah, I always forget that was a thing. I like want to defend it, but it's also like I forget about it.
Yeah, I haven't used it since I found out about it, and I was like, nope, not for me. Exit stage left.
Yeah. But that is interesting that you use Wattpad as where you write your stuff. I used to use that, but I eventually moved on to Google Docs, and I don't know why that just felt easier for me. Why would you say that Wattpad is an easier platform for you to write on? Comparatively. I know AO3 is trash.
Like, yeah, AO3 is trash.
AO3 is meant for copy-paste.
I want to say, because ever since the whole AI thing, I know Google Docs is starting to scan people's works, and I don't want that for myself. So I've avoided using it ever since.
Yeah, I heard about that. I was just like, I don't know if I can give it up, though.
No, it's definitely a great user platform. I mean, I wrote all my essays that way. Yeah. But I don't know. It's just my work is something different, I guess, and so I take it to a different level of security, I suppose. They can have all my essays, shit.
Essays, smashes, but yeah, stories like that, a lot goes into that. At least for me, a lot goes into like personal or otherwise goes into it.
Yeah, so I don't know. It just made the most sense for me. I'm so sorry if you hear any background noise. It's my dog.
No, I don't. It's okay.
And then I know I do like Word, Microsoft Word, but I don't have other than my work, I don't have like a Microsoft account that I can just download all that stuff. So I don't use that, but I would if I could.
Yeah, and with Wattpad cross-platform, like you can use it on your phone and your computer.
Yes, it's so nice when I get like an idea at work. I just boom.
Yeah.
If no one's looking at me.
Oh my god, the looking over the shoulder when you're trying to write something, and it's even worse if it's spicy.
Yes.
It's like, no, I swear, like I just had this idea. I just had to get it out before I forgot about it. Have you gotten requests from users of stories?
Never like in my asks. I've never had anyone be like, yo, write this for me. But I did have a collaborator I used to work with.
Oh, cool.
A little bit. Just on 2 of my like small fics in the very beginning. But so sometimes she would send me ideas, but other than that, no one's ever been like, I need this from you right now, which is fine. I think that's also a lot of responsibility and a lot of, pressure on somebody, if they ask you to do a certain thing and then you're constantly thinking, oh, what if it's not right? What if they don't like it? So
yeah,
it's like nice, but also like, I would like one, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, it's interesting for sure. Some of the crazy ones I've gotten, I won't even respond to because I just don't want that out in the world. Because why?
Yeah.
One, why did you have this thought? 2, why did you write it down, read it over, and then hit send? 3, why did you think I would write this? Like, what did I do?
What did I do to deserve this?
What did I do to deserve this? There's only one time I did respond, and it's because I was in a mood that day, and then I just, and they just hit me at the wrong time because somebody else had asked a question that like hit home, but it was just about like the whole stepmom thing, and I was just like, can we stop, guys? I have a stepfather, all right? I don't see why people have this whole thing about step-parents and step-siblings. I'm like, stop being attracted to people that are in your family. But yeah. So yeah, I was like, that's just kind of yucky ooey. But I get that people like to read those things. All right, I'm not gonna judge you for reading them. I'm just not gonna write them. Thanks.
That's fair. Saying, I respect whatever you write or whatever you read, whatever you consume, but I personally am just not going to put that media out there.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Because I mean, there are a lot of things that are out there, and I'll read the tags. I won't read the actual thing because I'll get afraid of the tags, but I'll see the amount of numbers that they go. I'm like, damn, it goes high. And it breaks my little innocent heart. Because like, if I just decided one day to have a kidnapper and make it smutty, yeah, I'd probably go into the thousands. But I just can't sell out like that. No, but yeah, no, it is bizarre to me, the amount of not only fan fiction content, but like there's that movie 365, the Stockholm Syndrome. I find that interesting. The amount of people that love it.
For me, when I read that, my thing always, I guess, is a question, which obviously, unless you want to read like a 50-chapter fic, is it happens so fast. Like, I don't think in real life it happens that fast, but in every single fan fiction I read, it's like happens within like the first month or like first couple days, and
I did read some back in my Hunger Games days, where it would happen like within the week, and it'd be in the first chapter, and it wouldn't even be a one shot. And I'm like, why is there multiple chapters of this if you're gonna give away the whole plot? But no, yeah, it. I feel I understand what you were saying, that like when with the obsession thing, and there's like that's where like the show You comes in, and I feel like that just gives people a better understanding on how people get kidnapped.
Yeah.
Or how obsession happens. Because it is a longer process than just they saw somebody and were like, yes, that's my next target.
I guess going into the criminal minds aspect of all of my knowledge, sometimes it is though. Like sometimes it's a look, it's a glance, and then they're hooked, and then it's weird. The human brain is so weird.
Well, for shows like Criminal Minds, they have to cut it down to it being just an episode plot line.
That's true.
So yeah, because shows like that, I mean, like I watch Grey's Anatomy, so clearly they're not saving a lot of these people instantly. The second they show up to the hospital, they're not being diagnosed immediately, and then they're not being saved immediately. That's just not how it works. But it should be. But yeah, so a lot of that stuff where people are like, oh, don't believe everything you see on TV. It's only because they have to rush things, or even like anytime that there's a court case involved in a show.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's a lot more process in courts and a much more lengthy annoyingness. But it would be nice if things worked as fast as they worked in movies and TV shows. But
indeed.
But with fan fiction, I feel like you don't have a limit. The limit does not exist. All right, guys?
So what we're all saying here is write longer stories.
Yes. What we're saying here is if you're going to be kidnapping me, do it accurately. Have a year process into it, all right? I want to see that this person has found out my entire schedule. I want Wanda better have my whole, like, what I eat, what I drink, when I sleep. Like, I don't know how she's figuring this out. She better have cameras installed. I don't give a this better be way more intricate than just she saw me and she kidnapped me. And she was obsessed with me, and she somehow knew everything through my social media that I apparently am constantly on. Although with more of those live people, with live content creators, it is getting kind of ridiculous with the way that what's it called again? The way that people are constantly live streaming their lives.
Yeah, family vloggers and things like that.
Oh my god, family vloggers are scary. All the craziness that's coming out about family vloggers was insane. What is a ship you've written for that you just had to delete or never post?
I honestly don't have a lot of like drafts that I've just never got to.
What?
I did in my old days, like back in 2012 when I first started.
Which is 12 years ago now.
Yeah, that's gross. Don't remind me. I'm old. I wrote a little bit for the women's national soccer team.
Mm-hmm.
And I never really posted any of those because I could never get those off the ground. Just because they were real people too. I think that also you know, I read a lot of them, not gonna lie, but writing, I tried, it didn't work out, which, you know, is what it is.
I feel like writing for real people is a thing that we're all okay with when we're like teenagers, but then becoming an adult, it changes things. That, I mean, I did write for real people for a bit, and then I turned 20 and I was like, what am I doing? This is crazy. It like happened like right at the end of 19. I was like, oh my god, what am I doing? These are real people. They have real lives. Why am I villainizing their actual partners? So yeah, I find the real people interesting, but like, yeah, I used to read a lot of real people. Um, those real people being Jennifer Lawrence and Josh Hutcherson. And then during a point in COVID, it was Demi Lovato and Selena Gomez.
Oh.
Which, oh my god. Technically, I was still straight back then. But I just had to read about them. I don't know what happened. I went through this whole like rabbit hole finding out that people ship them, and I was like, what? And then I found fan fiction. I was like, let me just take a gander. And I found the most heart-wrenching one that haunts me to this day.
Damn.
It has affected the way I write.
I didn't think people went that hard for them, but I'm learning things every day.
Yeah, I didn't know either. And then COVID, you just find out things during COVID. So many people found things in COVID. Other than COVID. Like, because I was a huge fan of Glee and Pretty Little Liars, and I could never find people that liked those things. During quarantine, everybody was watching Glee. Everybody was watching Pretty Little Liars, and they were all ripping into it, and now I can't even watch those shows for joy anymore.
Oh, no.
Because I'm like, no, how dare you? How dare you make me realize that Ezra and Arya shouldn't have been together? Which, again, the teacher-student thing, it's a thing in your mind when you're a teenager. When you grow up to be an adult, you're like, nope, that is disgusting. Put them all in jail. Not you, Arya.
Yep.
But definitely the teacher. But yeah, no, that is rough. But yeah, no, my first ones were, yeah, it was, well, yes, when I was younger, it was all about Katniss and Peeta and Jennifer Lawrence and Josh Hutcherson. Which, looking back on it, no. Were they really that cute? Yes. But no, they were not. Jennifer Lawrence is... We're not going to talk about that.
For another day. For another day.
We don't have enough time. And... Blah, 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 blah. How many questions have I asked you? I feel like I've asked a lot.
I think you asked like 3 or 4.
That requires me to remember numbers. All I know is that we've been recording for 42 minutes, but like the first 20 or so was rambles before I started, actually. Before I did my intro. Because I was like, maybe I can get some B-roll. Because it's always good to have the extra stuff to just throw in, like, whenever somebody's like, oh my god. Let's see. I might ask 2 more questions, if that's okay, and then we'll get into the game portion.
For sure.
Which I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Damn. I need one more title, but I'll figure that one out in a second. But I have 9 titles so far. I want to make an even 10. Let's see.
10's my lucky number, so that works.
Oh, nice. Is it like birthday related, or is it just coincidence?
It's sports related.
Oh. Like,
Usually the best player on the soccer team wears 10.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. Did you play soccer?
I did, from kindergarten till senior year of high school.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Why can't I come up with another question for that? I'm sorry. This is how awkward I actually talk. Like, I say that's cool, and then I'm like, no, but I mean it. I mean it. Like, I'm sorry.
You're all good. You're all good.
I knew somebody who played soccer up until somebody kicked her leg and broke it in half.
Oh, jeez.
Mm-hmm. And that was in... Yeah, she played about, like, kindergarten up until 7th grade, which was so sad. Her career ended early. So did you play at number 10, or did somebody else steal the number?
No. I was a goalkeeper, so I couldn't have 10.
You should have gotten 10. That's what I should have asked. What position did you play?
Yeah, I played goalkeeper. Because in high school, I had to choose. I had to make a choice.
Uh-huh.
I knew I wasn't good enough to be a forward with all these other people. I knew goalkeepers are needed.
Mm-hmm.
And you can never really have too many of them because you get hurt a lot. So I chose goalkeeper.
Oh, yeah.
But as a small being in rec soccer league, I was a forward a lot as well.
Oh, cool.
So then I could be number 10 if I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to be a couple times, but
I'm sure
once you decide to be a keeper, you get very specific numbers in soccer.
Oh, that's interesting.
You know,
I don't know anything about soccer other than like, listen, I don't hate the sport of itself, but I do hate having to have worked at a soccer stadium because that was atrocious. So it's only been like a year since having to do that, so we'll give it time. I might get back into the whole soccer thing.
It's very gay if you want to.
I have been seeing a lot on my feed of the soccer players thing, and then I found out about Sophia Bush being turned by a soccer player, and I was like, a soccer player?
That is a very spicy topic if you get into the WOSO community.
Yeah, I heard that it was a really bad thing because of the cheatings and all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there's no confirmed cheating, but everyone suspects.
I mean, timelines... What celebrities have to understand, from our point of view, if you don't give us specific timelines... I get you want your privacy. I understand that. But if you don't give us the specific timelines, we're just going to trash your name. It's just what it is.
But also, if the timeline is too suspicious, we're also gonna like jump to conclusions because there's nothing else to prove otherwise.
That's true.
I mean,
unless you let us be in the god with you, don't get mad at us when we don't like you. All right? When the room were, I don't know why. I'm not making a Hamilton reference. I do not support Hamilton. Anyway, I was a basketball player up until high school, and that's just because depression. Anyways, and moving. I was moving a lot between middle school and high school, so I just didn't like attaching myself to people and then having them ripped away from me. What?
I also played basketball.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
What position?
Basketball.
You played all the sports.
I did track and field. I did volleyball. Tried it all.
So you meet the requirements of a gay person, right?
Yeah.
All their prerequisites.
Yes.
Why is it when women do anything that is classified as masculine, it's suddenly like they're gay? The audacity.
I don't know. I mean, some of them are straight, which kind of baffles me. But I mean, I get it. Sure, we have to have a couple of them, right?
What baffles me is like the gayest women are the straightest. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm. It's weird. There was actually a TikTok on that recently where this like it was a female plumber, and she came in all masculine and she was doing all these things, and then she's like, yeah, my husband, and then like he's like, why are you making that face? Anyways, my husband and I, they're like, what, like, yeah, I have a husband. You have a husband? Anyways, back to the questions. What is your favorite story that you've written? Like, do you have a favorite of all the...
I think that Ocean's 8.5 will always be my baby. It definitely gave me community. It definitely gave me a lot of friends. It gave me a lot of like just interactions. I was going through a really rough time when I was writing all of it. Toward the beginning, like start. So that was really cool. It gave me Tumblr back again. It gave me a lot. So I'm very thankful for that story. And I know that a lot of people have interacted with it and also have enjoyed it. I hope, at least. So I think that will always be my baby. I am determined to finish it, even if it turns out to be 120 chapters. Which I hope not. That's a lot of writing. But yeah, I think that's going to always be my favorite.
That's cool. That's cool. It is crazy how stories can grow with us and bring a lot of community. Because, yeah. And did you start it like at the prime time of like Ocean's 8 coming out?
Yes.
Yeah,
I did.
That's smart.
So I released my first chapter, I think, in September. I know it came out in June, but there's a not really funny story with it, but I went to go see it with my sister. We needed to get out of the house. There was a lot of family stuff going on. So we went and saw the movie. I loved it. I wasn't I loved it, but I wasn't like in love with it the way that I am now. But a car hit a transformer near the local theater we were at. God. So the power went out. So we didn't get to see the ending part, like where they explain, spoiler alert, I'm so sorry. They explain the crown jewel heist part. So I didn't know that existed for a long time. And then I took my then girlfriend to the movies and we saw it. And I saw the whole thing through, and I was like, "Holy shit! What?" You know? Sorry, I'm so sorry. I didn't cuss.
I don't know if we are cussing or not, but I did say that we are cussing to somebody.
Okay.
Somebody asked if cusses are allowed, and I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then I cussed. And I'm like, I don't think I sound good cussing. Anyways, so go ahead.
Okay. And so then that's basically how I fell in love with it. I mean, it was good to begin with, but then I really took a deep dive into that, and then it blew up.
Yeah, well, I mean, having seen the movie a bunch of times, because it is really cool, like, the first time, it's just like, okay, what's so special about this one necklace? But then they pull out that they got all of them.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. I'm like, what? I didn't even see that. That's some tricky shit right there. But no, I really liked the way that movie was, because, yeah, no, I can see where you could get a lot of inspiration. And, I mean, Sandra Bullock and, why am I spacing on her name? How dare I?
Kate Blanchett?
Yes, Kate Blanchett.
My wife?
So sorry, Kate. I didn't mean to forget your name. But, their chemistry is so amazing. I mean, they're not lesbians, and then you have an actual lesbian in there, and she's not as lesbian as they are.
Facts.
Because, I mean, Sarah Paulson, my goodness, where was the tension? I mean, there was tension.
Yeah.
There was tension there, but it was not as crazy.
It was more of a past lover tension versus a current lover tension, while Debbie and Lou, which is where the name, the Blue, like their tag name.
I was thinking like
full circle moment.
I was thinking, it's like, is it like an interesting way of saying double O?
No, the 008 is a reference to James Bond, which is 007.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Like the way that you could say de blue is like double O in a sense.
For sure.
And so I was thinking it was like a 007 situation. But so it ended up being many things. There are so many layers to that. Love that. I love that for you.
Oh, thank you. I'll try.
It's a lot less incriminating too.
Yes. You gotta peel back the layers like an onion.
My eyesight. Let's see. So I asked you about. I asked you that one. Yep, that was the one I just asked you. I asked you this one. Yes, I asked that one. That was that one. Did I ask you about your favorite trope?
You did not.
Okay. What is your favorite trope to read or write?
I don't know. Like, I don't necessarily search those when I'm, like, searching for tags. How I find things to read is usually the pairing first, and then I'll just kind of read the tags as I go.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Because, yeah, nobody's going to put the actual trope in the title or anything. But, yeah, like, which ones do you gravitate towards most is what I mean. Like, yeah, when you read the tag, when you read the description.
I mean, enemies to lovers is always like a classic, but I don't think it's my favorite. I don't know. It's best friends to lovers is also a good one, but I don't know. I just read. I don't know. It's never like a go.
Yeah. And then for writing, which ones do you typically aim for?
So far, I've always done like friends, or just like they already have some sort of chemistry, and I just make them have chemistry.
Yeah.
I always have really wanted to try to write a enemies to lovers. Maybe I'll dabble in that sometime down the road once.
Yeah.
I won't have 4 works in progress, you know.
I have been given 2 requests to do enemies to lovers, and I struggle. It's not when I mean for my mindset it is because I'm mentioning this because in my mindset I do a lot of friends to lovers, and it's just like, to me it makes sense to be nice to the person that you want to be with eventually. The whole I hate you and then I love you thing, but I know that there's hate in love, and that's where that kind of comes from. But like for my mental depiction of it, it's kind of hard for me to map out when they're mean to somebody. But how mean can you be where it's not something that's going to trigger them in the future when you're in a relationship, or like when these characters are in a relationship? Like imagine like being called viciously, because I mean some people as friends will call people dumb sluts, but imagine viciously, like there's a situation going on and this person's calling you a slut, a whore, all these things, and it's not in a nice context, it's not in a spicy context, it's just in a pure hatred way, and it's just like, and then eventually they fall in love with you. Like what?
Yeah.
I need to get somebody on the podcast who writes enemies to lovers to understand. I have questions.
Yeah, I've never fallen in love that way, and maybe that's why I can't write for it, or that's why I don't particularly read it or go looking for it, I guess. I've always done friends to lovers. It's always happened that way, always. So I don't know. I have those questions too. I'd love to hear them on your next episode or a couple episodes down the line.
Yeah.
If you get someone on there.
Eventually, hopefully.
But yeah, I appreciate the art. Like, shit, it's hard. You gotta write a lot of angst, and you gotta, that's a chemistry, and that's a art form, but I don't have it. Maybe I don't know. I haven't tried.
I have seen successful stories. Like, I've seen, well, not, I don't know number wise what their success was, but like successfully setting up this enemies relationship and then it progressing to lovers, and I've seen it done. I've been like, wow, that was an amazing ride.
Yeah.
But mentally, I just can't like figure out how you get to that point. How do you? And then I'm like, do I have to? Because for me, with writing, I emotionally put myself in the character's situations. So when I'm writing for a character, or I will watch a lot of I'll watch edits, I'll watch a lot of the movies or shows that they're in to try to fall in love with them. I'll watch interviews. This is just me saying that I've watched everything that Elizabeth Olsen has put her face on. No, I'm kidding. But I'll watch all that stuff to find that love that this character has to have for the other character, And so if I were to do research for an enemies to lovers, and I have two stories I started where they're kind of enemies to lovers, and I'm just like, I can't hate her. Like, do I have to start hating? Like to do this and then fall in love with her? Because I don't hate her, and I haven't hated her.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would like to know somebody's process with that. What do you typically do for... Do you put yourself emotionally into your characters, or you just have the idea and you're like, I know what they're gonna say and I know what they're gonna feel?
I've definitely pulled some personal experiences into Ocean's 8.5 for sure. There's been a lot of personal experiences, never like direct quotes necessarily, but like definitely personal experiences, personal feelings.
Yeah.
There's a chapter where Daphne's really insecure about her relationship. That was definitely me at one point. During all that, there's a lot of back and forth. That's definitely, I've been in those shoes too.
Yeah.
So I definitely do put a lot of my personal life in there without being it too personal, but I haven't really wrote from the second person until recently, so now I'm like actually putting myself in that. So that's a little different, because usually I write from the third person. It's easy just to like have them interact, and it starts to like flow organically at some point or whatever. But now doing second person, I definitely am putting myself in there a little bit more emotionally and like personally, I guess.
Yeah, second person, it really does something weird, because with third person, you can, it can be completely outside of you, and because it is these characters and it has nothing to do with it, but like with nothing to do with you, and you can add your personal experiences, but it's still not the like same as second person. I feel like second person does something a little bit therapeutic, because you are putting you a lot, and then you're also, I also find it funny how controlling it is, because you're not just telling characters that they're doing these things, you're telling a reader that they're doing these things.
Yeah.
And so like with third person or even first person, it's all controlled. It's a controlled narrative that's not affecting the reader is just there for it. And where as second person, you're like, no, you did this. You're thinking this. You're not, but you are. Which, that's another reason why I don't like doing enemies to lovers with second person, because I'm like, I'm telling you hate this person. I'm telling you want this person away from you. You are disgusted by this person, but also you're in love with this person. Which is weird. Which, I mean, just even telling somebody that they're in love with somebody is weird. But, right, yeah, like, I've gotten stuck in doing second person. But, I hope you enjoy your journey with doing second person.
Thank you. So far I have.
Yeah. And that one, is that the boyfriend? Yeah.
Yes.
Many boyfriends came out when that song came out.
You know, I would have thought, and I definitely, when I first heard it, I got the idea. I didn't write it until I've had this one sitting for a while. Like, I started it, I stopped it.
Yeah.
I definitely abandoned it for a while.
Well,
and then I
even had one, but I never wrote it completely. But anyways, continue.
came back. No, it's. I feel like it's a song a lot of wolves can relate to. If that makes any sense. So I feel like it, you know.
It's a great song.
Go ahead.
It's a fantastic song.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just remember, like, the amount of fics. I had not seen so many fics pop up, like, within 24... People were writing this the second that song came out, and I was like, how dare you show me up? My ass takes 3 years to write anything, and you guys have one-shots, chapters, all this stuff. I'm like, damn. Some people scare me with how fast they will come up with something and then have it out, like, right after. But yeah, alright, now let's get into, oh Jesus, the game. Is it fanfiction or is it a movie? Is what I'm calling it right now.
Nice.
I have 10 titles for you to decide whether they are fanfiction or a movie. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. So for the first one we have Abducted by Teacher.
I feel like that has to be a fanfiction.
I am not 100% sure if it is, but I am 100% sure that this is a movie that I saw on Hulu.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
Yes. It's one of those, like, Lifetime movies. And then they have a whole collection of, like, abducted by, and I'm like, why are you guys doing this? But yeah, that's a movie. And I believe it's based off of real events. I don't know. I didn't really look at the whole thing. Don't quote me. All right. Love on a Record.
Oh, that's so sweet. I mean, I guess it could go either way depending on what record you're talking about, but
That's true. All these diss tracks these days. Poor Jolene.
For real though. Fanfiction.
Yeah, that was a fanfiction. Can you guess what type of fandom it came from?
What fandom? I want to say Marvel, but I'm not sure.
It was actually Hunger Games.
That's cute.
I was kind of thinking you would guess the Demi Lovato and Selena Gomez thing.
You know, that's a good one. I didn't even think of that one. That would have been a cute one for them.
Yeah, that would have been a cute title for them. All right. Wait, which one was this one? Accidental Love.
See, I want to say fanfiction because I'm sure there has to be some, but I also want to say a movie. The answer's movie.
So what are you gonna say? It's a movie. but it could be a fan fiction, right? The Beauty and the Tragedy. Fan fiction or movie?
I feel like it's a fan fiction.
God damn it. This is gonna be difficult one day to trip people up because I need to do more research on it. But yeah, that one's a fan fiction. The Best of Me.
See, to me, that sounds like one of those, like, Hallmark movies. So I want to go with movie.
Yeah, it's a movie.
But I'm 100% sure that it's also probably a fan fiction.
Yeah, most likely. That's the problem with this game. But, like, I like it. I like to think that there's so many titles out there that I'll eventually trip people up to finding, like, actual, you know, titles that could trip. Sorry, I'm, like, repeating myself, and I get so mad when I see the repetition in stories.
You're all good.
All right. Here's a really tricky one. It's gonna trip everybody up. Kissing Booth.
That was a book before it was a movie, right?
It was a fan fiction before it was a movie.
Oh. Really? That was a fan fiction?
Yeah.
Crazy.
I can't remember. I remember seeing the fan casting that the person had on her story.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Shay Mitchell, and I think it was a Pretty Little Liars fan fiction. But Emily was straight and not gay. But yeah, because I remember, I don't know if Wattpad still does this, but you used to be able to cast people on your stories. I don't know if you know that.
See, Wattpad now to me isn't really a place for fan fiction. It's more for like original stories that these people have come out with. Or they're like loosely fan fictions, and then they're stories, and now they're in Barnes and Nobles, and it says like Wattpad book, and I was like, what?
No, and they have all these programs and all these conventions, and yeah, it's slowly stopped becoming fan fiction, but you used to be able to put a cast. I'm actually going to it right now to see if you can still do that, but you used to be able to add a cast to the story as like a way to tell the readers who you're kind of talking about. No, you can't anymore.
That's crazy.
You can add main characters as like a main character list, but yeah, you used to be able to be like, it used to be called cast.
There's a thing on here called story notes, and you can enter like the protagonist. I know this is going way off topic, but you can enter the protagonist names, and the protagonist tends to be introverted, likable, unlikable, like all this mad. Like, I never knew this existed.
It's a good tool to use if you want to build character before building story.
Wow,
I definitely
learning things every day.
Oh yeah. Protagonist pronoun? What? That's crazy. We got pronouns again, guys. It's a real thing. Like, we haven't been taught it forever. We're not getting political anyway. This is supposed to be okay. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna have to re-say this, but this podcast is gonna be just a light, mind-numbing podcast because I cannot like, if you want to follow up on current events that aren't on this podcast. We're here for when you need a break from all the craziness happening in the world. Will the protagonist succeed in reaching the goal at the end of the story? The goal is to marry Wanda, so yeah. Anyways, off track. But yeah, Kissing Booth was a fan fiction, and so was 50 Shades of Grey. If you didn't know that.
I did know that one.
Mm-hmm. That one's pretty famous because it was like one of the first ones to succeed outside of fan fiction.
Yeah, I've seen the How Does 9/11 Correlate with 50 Shades of Grey videos.
And it's just so crazy to me because the premise is very fan fiction-y.
Yeah.
Like, oh, have you seen those videos where they're like, if somebody from my books actually treated me like that in real life? And it's all like they're running scared. Anyways, alright. And then we have their next title is Fancy.
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is Iggy Azalea and her song Fancy that took the whole world by storm.
Yeah, that was my dog song for a long time. That and Summertime Sadness. She'd be bopping to Fancy and then switch over to Summertime Sadness.
I love that.
Anyways, fan fiction or movie?
Movie?
Fan fiction. Do you want to? No, you want to be able to guess the premise of this, but what fandom was it from? Do you think?
Is it one we've already talked about?
Huh?
Is it one we've already talked about?
Fandoms?
Yes.
It's one. Yes, we have talked about this fandom.
I mean, it doesn't feel right, but I'm gonna throw it out there. I'm gonna say Harry Potter.
No, it was actually Hunger Games. And you know what was crazy about this premise? Katniss was a stripper. Or no, wait, was she a stripper? She was a sex worker of some type, and PETA would purchase her. I think that's what it was. I don't know. Hold on. Let me fact check real quick. Because now I'm thinking I'm mixing it up with another story where there was a lot of angst I was reading as a child. Because there is one where she's like married and they have an affair, but then that could have also been something I wrote. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, no, she's a stripper, and they call her Fancy. That's her stripper name. Oh my god, I don't remember. But I guess I can't remember if like PETA just like remembered her from like growing up, and I don't know. Eventually they end up together and she stops stripping. She gets out of the life. Alright. Okay. This next title is called Follow Her.
Fan fiction.
Movie.
Damn.
That felt like a fan fiction title though. I was like, what? This is a thing? But yeah, that's a movie. I didn't actually look at the premise of it. I'm too scared to. My Immortal is the next title.
I want to say fan fiction, but now I don't know.
It's a fan fiction.
Oh, good. Back on track.
And can you guess what that one is from? What fandom that's from? It's actually pretty famous in this fandom. It's known for being the worst fan fiction ever.
What?
Yeah.
Immortal. So it has to be something a little bit supernatural.
Uh-huh. Something very supernatural.
Is it from Supernatural? Because
No.
that's a whole fandom that I'm
No.
stayed away from.
It's a fandom that we have discussed, and you guessed it for another title.
Is it Marvel?
Uh-uh.
I'm really bad at these.
It's Harry Potter.
I wanted to say that. Marvel felt wrong, but I because
it was, yeah. And the pairing is very confusing. It's an original character.
Mm-hmm.
And she pairs herself with Draco, but she also pairs Draco with Harry.
Oh.
Yeah. And then her with Harry, and then back to her and Draco. And like oh my god, the premise of that whole thing is just ridiculous. There was actually a phase of this server, it's in our lore, where we read every chapter on voice channel. And then we had a drinking game for it one time because she uses a lot of words, like she repeats a lot of words over and over again, like excessively. And every time she describes an outfit, every time when she describes just an outfit of herself or any other character, she always uses the word black. Because they were emo, and this girl was going through a phase. So we had that as a word for the drinking game, and the people who did that quit like after the first 10 minutes of the game, because you just had to take a shot every time she said black, and that they was just a million times. But yeah, it was pretty funny. I didn't find out about that until they forced me to read it to them. But but apparently it's pretty famous within the Harry Potter fandom of the fanfiction readers.
Wild.
And for our last title, it's Idea of You.
See, that also sounds like a cheesy Hallmark movie. But I definitely think I see it as a fan fiction as well.
What's your final answer?
I'm gonna go with fan fiction.
You would be half correct. Because this fan fiction, I think it was a Harry Styles one, has just recently been adapted into a movie.
Oh, with Anne Hathaway?
Yeah.
I didn't know that's what it was called.
Yeah. I'm so sad. Because I was supposed to be at the premiere, but I got sick.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I was like, God damn it, I want to see Anne Hathaway in person.
Queen. Queen.
It was even sadder because I could have seen her the first year I was living here. And I couldn't, well, I didn't know that she was going to be there. And then I found out that she was at the theater that I volunteer at. And I was like, what? And so I was like, the next time she's going to be here, I'm going to be there. I got sick. So she doesn't want me near her. She knows. The universe told her, and she's like, keep that. Anne Hathaway in Ocean's 8, that was also a whole moment.
It was.
That whole cast, a beautiful
I know.
moment. It was
fire. Absolute fire.
They were so brilliant. Well, I didn't think of anything for headcanon or canon because I feel like I need to do a little bit more research on what people have collectively agreed on. And what is real.
I think that one's going to be really fun, but I think it's going to
be very specific. Yeah. So thank you for donating your time and your information and for being open and honest. Um, this was really fun. I hope you
It was.
enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
And I hope you come back for another episode another time.
Definitely will. I think I cut out again. I apologize. But I was saying about your game for canon or non-canon. I think that's going to be really hard.
Yeah.
And it's going to be really fun.
Yeah.
But I just think that it's definitely going to be hard because we all have accepted certain things as canon, and now to differentiate and separate that will be interesting to see if people can actually do it.
Yeah. No, I feel like it would be a really fun thing. I just need to do more research, and I need to I think I can do some polls on, not polls. I think I would have to like actually ask this question to Tumblr and other places to find out what people actually believe is canon in order to figure that out. Because I mean, like, there's stuff that we do agree on, like the fact that, I don't know, Wanda and Natasha were training together in the time that they were running. Is it true? We don't know. But it is to us. And you know what was foul was when they added that little scene in the Black Widow comic thing. It was like the movie comic book. I don't know if you saw that, where they had Black Widow comforting Wanda. I was like, why'd y'all add that in this, but not in the movie? When the moment she needed it most, because she accidentally blew up a whole hospital. Like, that wasn't her fault, but like, she was made out to be a monster, and she should have been comforted, and she could have been, and she was, but not in the movie, in the comic of it. I feel like they play with this a little too much. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed listening to this podcast as much as we enjoyed recording it. Where can people find you again? Just state it again.
Tumblr, AO3, technically Wattpad, but my Wattpad name is different. It's Ghost Gods, or Ghost Six God. I really need to change that, but I just haven't gotten around to it. So I will hopefully be changing that.
That's
to
pretty dope, though.
Everything else.
All right, cool. That's dope. That's a dope ass name. All right.
Thank you.
And yeah, and I'm Messed Up Fan. If you found this any way other than Tumblr, like, I don't apologize, because you should have had fun listening to this. If you made it to this far, don't get mad, all right? No hate comments. And yeah, if you have any other ideas, send them my way, because I am clunky. I am trying to figure all this stuff out right out the gate. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Kai, that one was directed to you.
Well, thank you. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
I think I will. I don't know. We'll see. But thank you. And yeah, I hope people return. I hope people comment and subscribe and all the fun things. And yeah, see you next time.